So Luca, it's been 9 months since you came to Vigo. Do you feel integrated personally and footballistically, fully integrated?
Yeah, now I really feel at home here. Versus when I first came, it was difficult. But yeah, I think I'm still feeling more comfortable every week. It takes a long time when you move to a different country.
How long it took to get comfortable in Vigo?
In Vigo? Yeah, maybe, yeah. I'm still getting more comfortable, I think, I'm still learning more Spanish and, I hope, next season we'll feel even better.
It's still a process.
Still a process, yeah.
Okay. Did you feel some mistrust when you came because people here don't know the Eredivisie, the Dutch league?
Mistrust? No, not really. I know the Eredivisie is a good league. It's not as strong as La Liga, but I had a lot of good experience there, and that's why I can play in the Liga, because I had good games in the Eredivisie.
Do you think how different is Eredivisie compared to La Liga?
Yeah, on average, the players are better in the Liga. I think the football is a bit different. In Holland, they're a bit more polite. They care a bit more about playing well, playing beautiful all the time. And here it's, a bit more aggressive. The biggest thing, I think, is the fouls. Because players are so good with the ball, you know that when you lose the ball, you have to stop the play immediately, or else you get punished. And in the Eredivisie, it was, you had less of that feeling.
Mm-hmm. So what was the most difficult thing to adapt inside the football field when you came to Vigo?
I think it was not so much the level of football, but just feeling comfortable and feeling at home here. If you're a player, you can't play your best unless you feel like you're at home at a place.
Your arrival came in the first market of Luis Campos, and you were seen as one of his personal stakes, one of his personal bets. It was more pressure for you being one of these personal bets of Luis Campos?
No, I don't think so. I don't think people have a lot of expectations for me wherever I go, whether that's Celta or with the national team. So yeah, I have friends, I have other players who have a lot of expectations. I don't feel like I have the same.
Mm-hmm. So Juan Carlos Calero told yesterday in an interview that you were inside the group of that they say A3 players, which is players that came from big leagues with a lot of projection and with long-term rendimiento,
Sí, yeah.
the performance, long-term performance. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I think what I really enjoy in football is improving and getting better. It's why I wanted to take the next step here. And I still feel like I'm getting better every game I play, every training session, every week. And I get a lot of joy from that. So yeah, I want to continue in that way.
Were you told that you were a long-term bet when you came to Celta?
No.
Okay. So your expectations of the level of the players and the games in La Liga were surpassed, or was it what you thought was La Liga?
Yeah, I think I'm playing in a different way than I was in Holland now. So I had to change the way I played a little bit to get on the field here, to adapt that. And that was, I think, the biggest difference for myself personally. But it's good because I added some things to my game that I didn't have before.
They often said that the bigger difference is the speed of playing, the pace. Do you feel that?
Yeah, I mean, for me, if anything, it's easier here because you have better players around you, and that makes my job a lot easier. They give me the ball, they trust me with the ball in smaller spaces. They move better for me off the ball. Sometimes it can be more difficult playing at a lower level than a higher level.
Mm. So let's talk a little bit about your position. It is said that you're playing in a position that you were not used to. Is it difficult for you playing more into the left wing than inside the midfield?
No, I played there before. When I was a younger player in England, I was mostly a winger. In Holland, I played almost always in a double pivot and a midfielder. So this is a little bit more forward than I'm used to, but I mean, the coach is smart and he knows my qualities. I'm not, standing on the sideline and only taking dribbles one-on-one, I'm inside so I can connect with other players, and yeah, it's a position that suits me.
Sorry for my phone. So, do you feel more comfortable as a winger or in a double pivot?
I think I can play both positions. It depends on the players around me and what the coach wants.
Mm-hmm. So you started in Europe in Fulham in London. They say that the Premier and even the Serie A in Italy are above La Liga. What do you think on this?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play any games in the Premier League. I was on the bench once, though. I still have the shirt. Yeah, I think that this idea that, there's a huge difference in quality between, I would say, the top 5 leagues isn't true. I think if you watch the games, a lot of the teams, they play in a similar way. They try to do the same things. And yeah, I played with players who play in the Premier League. They wouldn't be out of place in the Liga.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about your history. Why football?
Because my father, he was Spanish. When I was a kid, growing up, he didn't allow me to play other sports, so it was really only football for me. Mm-hmm.
So how is it different football? I mean, in the younger leagues, how's it different from in the United States than in Europe?
So when I was growing up, I think it's different now. There weren't very many. Well, there were no professional academies where I was from, as in. There wasn't a club you could play for the under 14s, the under 18s, and then the first team. They don't have this, or they didn't have this pathway in America. And in Europe, there was that pathway where they could sign a 15-year-old and say, in 5 years, we see you in the first team, or this.
So was this reason why you moved to London to play for Fulham when you were young?
Yeah, that was the reason. It was... at the time I felt like it was my best option.
And how do you remember your life as a Fulham player in the younger leagues?
Yeah, it was really difficult. I was living there by myself from the age of 15, without my parents. It was probably too young to go. I wish that when I was younger there would have been an opportunity for me to play in America maybe for a few more years and then come to Europe when I was a little bit older. But I learned a lot in that time, and I think I became really mentally strong from doing that. So in the long run, it helped me a lot. So
you don't regret going to London?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't live my life like that.
Mm-hmm. So you've been in Europe for nearly 10 years.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm playing in the Liga now. I'm playing for the national team. I mean, like about 3 years ago, I was 22 years old, and with Fulham, I had maybe 50 minutes in the league in total in my career. And now 3 years later, it's a completely different situation.
So things are like you wished they were when you moved to Europe?
Yeah, I think I'm a player. I have ambitions. I always want more, and I want to improve. But also, I'm really grateful for where I am, and I realize how lucky I am to be here, because it wasn't easy to get this far.
Mm-hmm. Last November, you went to the World Cup in Qatar with the U.S. national team. Are you disappointed because you didn't have any minutes in the World Cup?
Yeah, it was kind of bittersweet. I was really happy to be there. It was difficult not to get minutes. I was injured before, which played a big part. The coaching staff didn't feel I was 100% match fit by the time the tournament started. But when I look back at it, it was a great experience. I enjoyed it a lot.
So right before you went to the World Cup, you had another coach, Eduardo Coudet. Do you feel like you were undervalued by him because he didn't put you in the field so much?
Yeah, I like to think that if he'd stayed, that I would still be playing now, that I would have convinced him eventually. But I try not to let the opinion or the decision of a manager ever affect me negatively, Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't playing, I was still training as well as I could and doing as much as I could to integrate when he was here. And that's why now I feel more comfortable,
So you feel now important inside the team and the roster?
Yeah, now my job has changed now. Now I'm relied on more.
What changed when Carvajal came?
I mean, yeah, he gave me a chance from the beginning. The style of football changed. Now we play more organized, I feel like, and yeah.
Okay, so in the last match, you started on the bench after being in the initial team for 10 matches in a row. Did you feel this like a reprimand, or it was something physical?
It was just a tactical change.
Okay, so I think I asked you this one before. Are you happy with the position you're playing now?
Yeah.
Do you think you have to think about Europe, or the objective is lower now?
Yeah, I think if you think too much about the big picture in football, you can kill yourself. I think it's just the next game. It always is. Now we have a big chance at home against Mallorca, and 3 points there. Yeah.
So you hope to have another tapa of pulpo when you come from Mallorca, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
So I think we finished. Thank you.
Okay.